it's so like we've been around the clock face here just for a minute on vision, and it's big. And yes, there's the dot and the focus, and because this is something in my personal life. Oh,
Well, I think the focus is finding tuning your everyday stuff. If vision is strategic, then focus is the tactics. It's saying, what am I doing in this moment that is beneficial for achieving my vision, or even just tuning my vision right now, and then you use it to apply it to your thought life, your decision making process. You apply it to your relationships. I mean, this is kind of like goal setting 101. Is everything that I'm doing right now moving me in the direction of seeing my vision fulfilled? And so, you then take that tactical viewpoint with your focus at your level, at your daily level. And you can move it to different levels: my day, my week, my month focus. How is that applying, or how am I applying that focus to reach that goal, to see the vision happen? And then be consistent, because I think that's the issue we struggle with most of the time with achieving our vision, our goal, our mission, is the lack of consistency. Or one could say it's not necessarily a lack of consistency, it's just the cycle of consistency. I touch it once a month. Well, once a month, well, if I do it over a lifetime, I guess I'll have some effect over lifetime, but it wouldn't be as effective and it wouldn't be as fast if I didn't do it on an everyday situation, right? So how the wave pattern, right? How quickly are you restating that cycle? Once a month, once a day, once a week. That level of consistency affects the overall achievement of that vision over time. I mean, just in a more practical sense of like saving money. If I'm putting a dollar in once a month, am I saving money? Am I going to achieve my vision? If I'm going to save if I want to put $10,000 in the bank, I'm making it real simple, and I want to have $10,000 in the bank. If I put $1 a month, it's going to take me a long time to get there, right? If I put $1 a day, I'm going to get to that $10,000 faster. So it's the frequency of your consistency which will improve or will speed up your manifestation of that vision. Okay, so the focus is what improves the frequency. It shrinks down the waveform, makes it faster, so you arrive at your vision faster. And so it's not bad or good in the sense. Well, it depends if you want to apply good or bad on the wavelength, the frequency of your consistency. That's up to you. But in Yahweh's world, if you're consistently engaging with him once a month, you're going to get there eventually. But if you want to get there faster, you might want to spend time in his face on a regular basis to improve that frequency, that consistency, right? So it's how fast you want to go to get where you want to get. And that's what focus does. As you get hungry for something, you increase the frequency of that change in your life to apprehend that vision. If you're not hungry enough, it's going to be more of a hobby for you. It's going to be when I feel like it. And that's okay for certain things. I mean, for Yahweh, there's a lot of his people that are living that way. And he wants more, obviously, but he's willing to go as far as you're willing to go. And so for me, that the idea of focus is to increase, to take what I have and apply the vision to it in order to stay consistent moving down the road to achieve it. And I'm fine-tuning to speed up that frequency, fine-tuning it so I'm removing the things that are speed bumps or distractions or off-ramps from where I need to go. And we have, and in some areas of my life, I'm really good at, in some areas I'm not, because of the value system for me. right? I think the focus helps maintain the value system. Even a focus allows us to reevaluate the vision. Is this really what I'm supposed to be doing? I'm coming up against a lot of stuff right now that seems to be in my way, and this is a pain in the butt. So what I do internalize is this really that valuable? Is this a really valuable vision for my life? If not, then why the heck am I butting my head against this thing? If it is, then I'm going to stick to it. And that's the stick to itness part of it for me, for vision. Because vision, it's where I plant my feet and I stand on the precipice while the raging storm is blasting against me, because I know I'm supposed to stand here. But if I'm not supposed to stand here, why the heck am I up here? I'm getting beaten and battered. So that vision is the staying put part for me. And the focus helps me to consistently stay there so that I don't get tossed left and right. I'm anchored. And when things get rough in programs and functions and projects, the people that don't have the staying power are the ones that don't have the real strong vision, don't have the real, this is important for my life, I'm going to stick it out. And because they haven't done the homework internally, whether they're supposed to be, they're not. They haven't done the homework internally to say, this is where I'm supposed to be. And so when that wave comes instead of boredom, it could be the doldrums. A lot of times it's the doldrums. Man, this isn't fun anymore. I'm off to go find some other high. And the doldrums come and they move on. Or the storms of pressure and time and energy and the pulling of the urgency, tyranny of the urgency around them, they say, you know, I just shouldn't be here. This is too hard. I'm going to leave. If they haven't done the homework, they're more susceptible of just moving on because their vision hasn't been solidified and it hasn't been reinforced with a daily focus and a reinforcement of the thought life. And so they get cast aside and they go off. And a lot of times you can see this pattern in people's lives. They just start and stop, start and stop, start and stop, because they've never fixed and they never did the vision in their heart. And they never did the homework to identify what they're really supposed to be doing and solidified their vision for their life. And so they're just blown about, trying to find who they are, but never succeeding in anything or being great in their minds, never excelling at something. And they become the bum on the street. And I'm overgeneralizing, of course, but the patterns are there. And if you're observing people, you can see that. And you want to hook, and going back to the beginning of ATS, Chris, this is why when we talked about this, I want to hook my heart to the people that have done the homework, that are going, because I've hooked myself with people in relationship who won't do the homework, and I'm tired of it. Because they leave. And I've left holding the stuff, and I'm like, some of it I can carry by myself, but I didn't want to do by myself. I wanted a relationship to do it. And yet they couldn't stay through this tempest or the boredom, the doldrums. And they were blown about and they just up and left. They just said, we're done. And then the old Christianese, yeah, I think Father's moved me on to something else. I'm like, I think you better check that on that one, because I'm not seeing that. I'm not careful about judging people, but on that kind of stuff. But I get tired of that response. Father's moved me on. Yeah, okay. Are you sure about that, or you just got tired of it? And so I got exhausted from that repetition with people. And so I was like, Father, I want to run with people who will plant their feet no matter what is going on, because they got the vision and they got the drive and they got the willpower of their soul saying, we're going to go after this thing, no matter what the question mark be, no matter what the storms might be, no matter if it's boring their gourds, they're staying put until they break through into the vision manifestation.
And it's true. It takes having a vision and then having others that have the same vision, and to be able to come together and it's not always easy because you have a vision and then you're trying to stay focused, and sometimes you get off and you get a little out of focus, and then it's nice to have someone on your side. It's nice to have a team. It's nice to be in a relationship where you can actually, synergistically trade into each other and
Mhm.
have that trading going on so that we can, as a team, come back and refocus. Because sometimes it's not even about us. We think we've got things figured out. The mystery's been revealed. The imagination is going, the secrets are pouring out, and it looks one way, but sometimes it does shift and sometimes it does change. And during those changes, you can get a little weary. But as it looks different, then we're able to say, okay, now we have to kind of throw everything to the side, regroup, reform it, put it in a different category and align it so that we're back in alignment with what is on our heart. Because as we grow, as you said, that focus can change and that can look different with Yahweh. Now we're able to see a bigger picture that we couldn't from the beginning. So when you have others and you're doing that with a team or with a community or with a group, whatever we want to call ourselves, we do it together. And that way, instead of us trying to do it alone, our sum ends up being bigger together than it would have been on our own.
Yep, that's that synergy right there.
That's
in
us,
play.
QRST. Mhm.
Yep.
So good.
It's all about
Yeah.
relationship. And I think that's what makes us a little different from all of the other recipes that are out there right now, is that we know relationship, and it has to be before everything. And when we put all of that first and put relationship first, we have a foundation to build on.
Good.
But it takes time. And I don't have time.
That's exactly right.
That is the lie.
Yeah.
Relationships does take time, and we're in such a fast pace of we want to get things done and get things out there and whatnot. But if the foundation is not there and set well and deep, because deep calls to deep, and that's who ATS is. That's who we are. That's who we want to partner with. Is we just don't want fly by night.
Right.
We'll welcome the fly by nights in, but if they want relationship, not everybody is going to run the race with us all the time.
Right.
I've got family that wants to go in and out, and or friends that we connect with, and it's like I haven't seen you in 5 years, and then we connect, and it's just like it's as if we had never stopped. But we've built that relationship, and those are important. But the foundation that we have set through quantum relational synergetic trading, and then the pillar of P48, it is whatever is pure. Whatever is, that's what we're going after. We want those are our mainstays. That's what keeps our vision. That's the focus, Golden Noodle. That's the focus. We keep our focus in between those two pillars. Then I feel like even if we tend to go off a little bit, those are the pillars that bring us back. Just like, I wasn't thinking synergistically with who I was with. How can I get back? And that really takes a group effort, not only from us, but who we're inside, relationally with Father, relationally with the seven spirits, relationally with the angelic, relationally with the kingdom of heaven is at hand. So for me personally, it's just like we're all sitting at the same table right now. I'm seeing Yeshua, and I'm seeing Yahweh, and I'm seeing the angelic, and I'm seeing the angels and the angelic canopy around ATS. But I'm also seeing us all there as well. And so it's just like the focus, bringing us in and dialing us in is so important. And that's where we're at. You know, that's where we're at right now. That's why I really wanted to have this conversation today is really, you know, setting our focus, you know, what is on, you know, ATS's scroll, but also what's on each other's scroll. Like looking at Carolyn's, you know, and what we just saw in the journal. It's just like, that was a total example of us all partnering. Really, by looking at one of her journals, we saw you could just put that down and go, that was a scroll.
Wow.
I mean, gosh, there's so much stuff in that. And, you know, it was just amazing. But at the same time, we could get distracted by looking at that, you know, and it's just like, okay, am I supposed to be riding the horse? Am I supposed to be looking at the face? Am I supposed to be focusing on the headdress of the, you know, of the beings there? And yes, we are. But at the same time, it's like, okay, Daddy, where you got me dialed in right now? Where you got us dialed in at ATS? Where you got me dialed in as far as imperial frequencies and my beginnings of you know, what happened yesterday, you know, just getting myself out from a dream that Daddy put inside of me a year ago while I was riding a treadmill. And I'm thinking, though, as I'm writing this article yesterday, I'm like, okay, so I'm on the treadmill of life and I'm going through thing and we're all on there. And, you know, it's just like Daddy just was like, it was just amazing. But that's, we could get on the treadmill of life and just go and what are you doing? I'm just running. I'm doing the workout. It's the everyday thing, but it's the consistency. You know, I got on there because I wanted to get some endurance. I wanted to gain some muscle. I wanted to build my breathing system. And in the process, I was having visions and I was having all these things. But I love that consistency at the end of it. This is just my way of seeing things, that constancy, SEE. What are we constantly looking at? What's the focus? That's the whole purpose of consistency, is what are we looking at constantly? What we keep our eyes on is who we behold is who we become. And what we do through that is really who we are. And we each are all part of that big, awesome picture painting that Papa has put before us right now.